What's the best password manager? I compared 6 top options to determine which is easiest to use, most secure, and most feature-rich. Starting with ease of use, both Proton Pass and NordPass have simple, intuitive interfaces that I think most users will enjoy. Both of these are the new kids on the block, so while they have modern interfaces, they are less feature-rich than competitors and therefore have fewer buttons in the UI. 1Password and Keeper are also easy to use, but the interfaces are a bit more complicated. These are highly capable password managers, but that also means there are more options in the UI. BitWarden and LastPass are not the most user-friendly. I've stated for years that the BitWarden interface is cluttered and dated, and while they have started to make improvements, it's still not where it needs to be. It is encouraging to see BitWarden making an effort to improve its UI, because I'm not sure the same thing can be said about LastPass. LastPass has made a few UI changes over the years, but overall, the interface feels stale, dated, and confusing. Moving on to the features, every password manager supports autofilling login details on both desktop and mobile. They all have the ability to store usernames, passwords, credit card numbers, and secure notes. You can also store an identity record that contains your name, address, passport number, social security number, and other personal info. Proton Pass is the only one that doesn't have this, and although this feature has been planned for a while, it's unclear when it will be added. 1Password, Keeper, and LastPass have quite a few item types to choose from, and LastPass even lets you create custom item types you can use as templates for entries. Despite this, LastPass doesn't implement custom fields well. If you want to add security questions, bank account numbers, loyalty membership numbers, or other info to a password record, it's hidden behind another screen. Form fields support autofilling, but I wish it weren't so difficult to access and modify field data. Keeper, 1Password, and BitWarden support custom fields with autofilling. You can access custom fields directly under your username and password, and you can copy the data with a click. Keeper and 1Password have extensive field types to choose from, like addresses and dates. NordPass, Proton Pass, and BitWarden just have text and hidden text data types, and NordPass and Proton Pass can't autofill custom fields. Another feature similar to custom fields is built-in two-factor authentication. If you've used a 2FA app like Google Authenticator, every password manager except for NordPass will let you generate two-factor codes directly in your password manager. This has pros and cons. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. If someone gains unauthorized access to your vault, they now have access to your two-factor codes as well. But letting your password manager handle your two-factor codes is convenient, and it can be autofilled into a website like your username and password. It's worth mentioning that NordPass does have the ability to generate two-factor codes, but it's reserved for the business plans. Since I'm comparing the individual versions of these password managers, I'm considering NordPass to be missing this feature. However, that may not matter in a few years, as Passkeys are currently rolling out as a new passwordless login method that does not require two-factor authentication. Passkeys can be generated and stored in every password manager except for LastPass, and since Passkeys are a massive leap forward in account security technology, I'm honestly shocked that LastPass doesn't support it yet. 1Password and BitWarden are especially forward-thinking, letting you sign into your vault with a passkey instead of a master password. But honestly, although this is cool, I wouldn't recommend doing it yet. Passkeys are still the Wild West at this point, and if you lose the device storing your passkey, you're locked out of your vault. I'm also a bit weary of storing passkeys in password managers, as there's currently no way to export or import passkeys into password managers. I like seeing most platforms embrace this new security feature, and I'm sure data migration tools will be offered soon, but as of now, if you switch password managers, you're going to have to generate new passkeys for every website. While you generate your passkeys, now would be a great time to hit that subscribe button. Subscribing and clicking the bell ensures that you'll never miss a new video. Another common security practice is to give websites an email alias instead of your actual email address. NordPass and Proton Pass have their own in-house email alias feature, allowing you to generate and manage unique email aliases for each website. 1Password offers integration with Fastmail to power email aliases, but you'll need a separate subscription to Fastmail for this to work. BitWarden integrates with third-party services like Simple Login, Addy.io, and Firefox Relay to give you ultimate flexibility over which alias service you use. I prefer BitWarden's approach to email aliases since it reduces reliance on the password manager manager if you want to switch in the future. With NordPass and Proton Pass, you'll have to update the email addresses on all of your accounts when you cancel, as the alias will stop forwarding to your email. If you need to share logins with friends and family, each password manager handles sharing differently. LastPass and Keeper handle family sharing the best. They both let you create shared folders you can invite family members to and share individual logins with specific family members. The other password managers either only let you share individual logins, which will get old if you want to share most of your logins with your companion, or they only let you share logins on a folder or vault basis. This is unfortunate when you want to share a login with specific family members instead of every family member. If you have a shared vault with everyone, you have to create another shared vault and add the specific family members to that vault just to share the one item. If you're just sharing a login temporarily, 1Password, Keeper, Proton Pass, and BitWarden let you share an item securely using a link. This lets the recipient access the login without needing an account, and this is much more secure than sharing passwords via email or text. Another way your password manager helps secure your accounts is by monitoring the strength and integrity of your password. Each app scans your vaults for insecure passwords and recommends changing them to be stronger. They'll also check public breach lists and let you know if any of your passwords are compromised. Unfortunately, Keeper charges an additional fee for their Breach Watch feature, even though it's included in the base paid plans of all other password managers. Now, when you set up your password manager, you should put a game plan together so loved ones can access your vault in the event of an emergency. That could look like making sure your trusted party has your master password and login instructions, and this is what 1Password suggests with the emergency kit they give you during setup. Proton Pass requires you to use this method as well, but all of the other password managers have an emergency access feature to add trusted contacts. If trusted contacts request access to your vault, you have an approval window, typically between 2 and 7 days, where you can reply yes or no to that request. If you don't reply within the window, they are automatically granted access to your vault. This feature is nice to have, but the most important thing is that a trusted individual at least has your master password and login instructions so they know what to do if something were to happen. I've covered the core functionality of each password manager, but there are additional features that make some of the apps stand out above others. 1Password can save and remember your sign in with logins. So if you choose to sign in with Facebook or Apple, you can ask 1Password to remember your sign in with method. Instead of scratching your head when you go to log in because you can't remember how you signed up, the browser plugin will nudge you when you go to the sign up page and remind you which social account to use. 1Password also has a travel mode, which removes vaults from devices while you travel to protect account security in the event you're asked to unlock your phone for inspection. BitWarden has the unique ability to be self-hosted on your own server. While both BitWarden and Proton Pass are open source, only BitWarden provides the server-side code. Using something like VaultWarden, you could easily run BitWarden on a Raspberry Pi. You might be interested in hosting your password manager yourself if you're especially interested in having the best protection for your vault. Personally, I'd say all of these password managers are secure and trustworthy except for LastPass. There's no way to spin it. LastPass has experienced breach after breach after breach. They've lost the trust of many users, myself included, and even though LastPass may be able to earn that trust back with time, I don't feel comfortable recommending them yet. 1Password, Keeper, and BitWarden have a long-lasting, strong reputation for protecting user data, with no known security breaches to date. They've all got white papers if you want to geek out about the details, but they're using strong encryption methods and encouraging best practices for master passwords. Proton Pass and NordPass are both new, and while neither has experienced a breach, there also hasn't been much time to test how they hold up long term. With that being said, I trust Proton and Nord and am confident in their security abilities, and NordPass uses a newer, faster encryption method than any of the others. While some of these password managers offer free accounts and family plans, I'm comparing the features in the individual plans. Most individual plans are priced at $36 a year, with Proton Pass coming in slightly cheaper at $24 a year, and BitWarden coming in cheapest at $10 a year. Every password manager offers either a free trial or a 30-day 30-day refund policy so you can try all the features and make sure it's right for you. So in the end, which password manager is best? If you're looking for the best balance of ease of use and functionality, go with 1Password. It's what I personally use, and it's got a clean UI without sacrificing features. The main limitation is sharing items. I don't like how the permissions work since you can only share vaults, so if family sharing is important to you, go with Keeper. Keeper is just as advanced as 1Password, and while the UI isn't quite as simple, it's a worthy trade-off for the added sharing permissions. 1Password and Keeper are both advanced, highly flexible password managers. If you want a simple solution, go with Proton Pass. It's missing some features like an identity item type and built-in emergency access, but the UI is so much simpler than the other options. For $12 a year less than 1Password and Keeper, it's a great option for the average user who isn't as tech savvy. It can also be a great fit for anyone already in the Proton ecosystem. If the current limitations don't bother you, it may be worth upgrading to Proton Unlimited for full access to Proton Pass, Proton VPN, and Proton Mail. If you need a free password manager, go with BitWarden. Although I compared the paid version of BitWarden for fairness sake, the free version has just about everything except emergency access, security reports, and the two-factor code generator. Since BitWarden's interface is clunky and confusing, I would either stick to the free version or pay the extra for 1Password or Keeper. But why use these password managers at all when Apple and Google have them built in? There's Google Password Manager built into Chrome and Android, and the new Apple Passwords app is coming to iOS 18 and macOS Sequoia. Well, these apps lack key features like custom fields, emergency access, and email alias support. Because of this, I'd recommend sticking to a dedicated password manager. And speaking of email aliases, if you're wondering which third-party service is best, I've got a full comparison on that here.